Welcome to St Andrews. I suspect that COVID has so far been a bit easier for us than for many of our chaplaincies. Although lockdown in Moscow was hard, we are fortunate to live in a country where churches were never completely closed. As a result, we were still able to continue to use St Andrews, and people could get passes to come to church. We're also a relatively young church with fewer invulnerable categories, and so people have been keen to meet together when they've been allowed to do so. We've discovered that we can do some bits of church virtually. I've long wanted to live stream services but never got round to doing it. Overnight it became essential, and we discovered how easy it is. All you need is a smartphone, a tripod, and a Facebook account. Like everyone, we also discovered Zoom. But discovering that we can do virtual church has been a major discovery, and we need to explore how we can use it to be an Anglican presence in Russia beyond Moscow and St. Petersburg. It's been a time to get back to basics. For a glorious 2 months, the church complex was closed to all activity apart from worship, so I did not need to worry about who could or could not park in the church grounds, who could or could not hire the church, or who had left the toilets in a dreadful state. It's meant that we were able to focus on worship and prayer, on teaching, building community, and on pastoral care service and evangelism. The Sunday services were obviously a focus, and through live streaming we're able to reach a potentially bigger audience. Our Easter morning service had over 2,000 visits. Many of those would have only been for 3 seconds, but it is a potential audience of 2,000. Right from the beginning, we also decided to live stream morning and evening prayer to provide a prayer anchor in the day and a consistent presence in what were initially scary times for people living a long way away from home in a country where the health service was untested for many. Since then, we've continued to live stream daily morning prayer. We've also added a What Have I Just Read live stream straight after morning prayer, which seems to attract more viewers than the morning prayer itself. We've been able to use Zoom for Bible studies. That's been a bit of a breakthrough because of the size of Moscow and length of time it takes to travel. Midweek sessions have never worked in the past before, and it is encouraging to see how people who have never met each other have become a community and work together and support each other. We've had 2 families who had COVID badly. One person had to go into hospital but thankfully survived, and several have had relatives die from COVID and other illnesses. The biggest pastoral challenges we have faced are firstly support for those with no income, especially people who worked as cleaners, nannies, or in restaurants. And as a community, we were financially able to support about 15 people. The British Embassy staff also gave us a donation towards that. And the second issue is a sense of separation from families overseas. It's particularly difficult for some of the foreign students. They can get to their home country, but they can't come back because the Russian borders are closed. Since May, we've been able to meet again, and we're almost back to normal. Sunday services and a Wednesday communion, which is why I can't do this live, followed by a reflective Bible study in person in the church and time to pray the Jesus Prayer. On Sunday, we get about 50 to 70 people, half of what we were getting before COVID. We do serve coffee after the service, and it's good to see how people have more in-depth conversations with 1 or 2 others, rather than the former milling around. We've also resumed 1 or 2 other groups, a youth group, a group looking at liturgy, and a confirmation group. About 8 people come along to that. We're able to hire out the church to concert organisers, but with only half the seats, and now actually only quarter. But that has been a financial lifeline. Sadly, however, the latest instructions from the city have meant that we've had to cancel the Christmas bazaar. I've become much more aware of being part of the Diocese of Europe and the wider Anglican Communion. We are a multinational community with only a few Brits in a part of the world that does things in a different way to the UK. And I have appreciated the fact that through Zoom, we've been given the gift of overcoming the miles, and in our case, the visa curtain, which separates our chaplaincies from each other. Thank you.